1 minute he was commentating snooker, the next day he said he was
That's a solid middle ground tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. Please subscribe.
So the mud flood theory proposes a massive civilization reset in mud flood in the 18th to 19th centuries, supposedly covered up and erased from history. Evidence cited includes old buildings with buried ground floors. Proponents believe an advanced civilization called Tartaria was wiped out and hidden. So I reckon with the mud flood, I can't really see any harm in it myself.
That's the thing. I think your automatic response is going to be for most things to go higher up the top.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, for me, I like the fantasy sometimes. So whereas you might lean towards a grift, I might feel a little bit different. But feel free to tell me if I'm stupid, if I'm saying anything stupid. Anyone and everyone.
The thing is, if somebody tries talking about or listening to somebody talking about something they know nothing about, then if they don't understand it, it doesn't really make them stupid. It just means they don't know anything about it. But, you know, it's...
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, or is more the, you know, more from the side of like, I will probably...
Yeah, oh yeah, I know what you mean.
You scour through this stuff often. So you know a lot of the waffle and why it's waffle.
And why it's waffle,
whereas,
and why
like,
it's wrong,
I might know it's waffle, but it might sound good.
Yeah, but I've said that before about somebody like Nathan Oakley. Even you know Nathan Oakley is.
Yeah,
and
is this...
NASA were developed for the sole purpose of lying to us.
Exactly.
Yeah, that Nathan Oakley. And he's one of those people who... Because he's quite well spoken and quite eloquent, he knows a lot of the sort of the big buzzwords, the sciencey sounding words. So it will be very easy for somebody to fall foul of his nonsense. He's definitely a grifter, 100%.
100%. And what you just described also is like, it's the direction. I mean, you could say turned, or maybe he's always been it. Is like Russell Brand.
Yeah.
Russell Brand is another one where he's a grifter. He will just sway left to right, up, down. He does not give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
If it gets him attention or whatever, he will flog it. Yeah. He's selling one of those EM.
Yeah, that EMF anti Wi-Fi and anti 5, like that Frank Tupanello? I've made a couple of videos about it. Yeah. Well, that's what he does. That's his grift as well. But yeah, Russell Brand is basically doing exactly the same thing now. But the problem is Russell Brand's got a hell of a lot more of a reach than that Frank Tupanello or whatever the bloody hell his name is.
Yeah.
But with the mud flood thing, like the one that springs to mind always with me is Roger Spur, the guy you said looked like Hitler's.
I'm telling you, this guy. I feel like we have to find it now.
Well, you try and find two sides. Well, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to put it sideways. It's up to you. But somebody like Roger Spur, to me, he's completely harmless. I just think he likes the idea of thinking that he's on to something and that he's so much smarter than everyone. You know, it's mainly, geologists would be the people that he's sort of saying are wrong, but he doesn't say that they're lying, you know, like Kent Hovind and a lot of these flat earthers say, oh yeah, all the scientists and all the mainstream, that they're all lying to us. But I've never heard anybody from like the mud flood conspiracy ever sort of.
They're not spouting propaganda.
Yeah, they're not trying to push negativity to somebody who does it. They basically go, well, you know, if you don't believe it. It's like Roger's famous rock head goose. It does. It looks like a goose. 100% it does. You haven't got to squint your eyes or look at it, and it looks like a goose. But it's pareidolia. It's nothing more than that. So I reckon, going back to the list, that should go in YouTube rabbit hole. What do you think in the chat, or what do you think as well, Carl?
I put Well, on my notes, I did write next to this one, YouTube rabbit hole,
Yeah.
because this kind of feels a little bit kind of like, like Atlantis, even like the pyramids to a certain, I mean, that one gets a bit weird, but
Yeah.
even to a certain extent, I think it's more just rabbit hole. I there's not a lot of so much indoctrination going on with mud flooders.
Yeah,
And I know barely anything about the mud flood. I had to ask you the other day while we were prepping for this episode.
Yeah.
I had to ask, because all I knew about mud floods was that you had made videos about them before.
Yeah. So I reckon we are going to stick mud flooding YouTube rabbit hole for now. And we're going to ask the side chat now, do they agree with where we... Is that where you think it should go?
I think it's where it should go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
what does everyone else think?
Well, yeah. What do you reckon, side chat? Is it in the right category? Do you reckon it is just a harmless YouTube rabbit hole?
I'm seeing someone saying tinfoil.
Yeah, Mitch, tinfoil hat, he thinks.
Someone's saying ignorant. But I feel like that's quite harsh for mud flooders.
Yeah.
It depends. Again, it depends how hardcore your belief is, I guess.
Yeah, I still think it deserves its spot in rabbit hole for now. I would say, for me, the big difference between a YouTube rabbit hole and tinfoil hat is, let's say this evening you notice, Jesus, I've just spent 4 hours watching conspiracy videos. But then when you get up tomorrow morning and get dressed and brush your teeth and head out the door to work, you've forgotten about them.
And I think like YouTube rabbit hole is more, you might go to someone and say, oh, look, I saw this thing and it turns out these mud floods happened.
Yeah.
And then someone can go to you, that didn't happen because of X, Y, and Z. And then you go, that sounded cool. And then that's it. But tinfoil hat is like, you feel the need to defend it also. Like, you believe this stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's got a grip with you type of thing.
Yeah.
Rabbit hole is being believed on first sight with little criticism. Tinfoil is the acceptance that the government is involved. Yeah, so that's like another way of saying what me and Callum just said. Then it's that sort of jobby. So the next one is, I've forgotten, moon landing. No, lizard people. Some of you will have heard this before. Maybe some of you haven't. Lizard people. The lizard people conspiracy theories claim that reptilian aliens control the world, disguised as powerful figures, manipulating society for their own ends.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Exactly. I have made videos about this, but it's one of the things I probably know the least about, I reckon. But David Icke thinks that Queen, I know she's gone now, she's dead. I don't know why I needed to clarify what gone meant by adding the word dead. She dead. But he said publicly on multiple TV shows and YouTube podcasts and live streams that he believes that the royal family are all lizard people. Are they strange? Of course they are. They, royalty. They raised differently. They're weird, but are they lizards?
How this has to be at least tinfoil hat.
Yeah, no, that's...
See, I'm lying to myself. I wrote YouTube rabbit hole on my notes.
Yeah, see, I would have said tinfoil hat.
Yeah, I think you might be right, because...
To make it more simple, like tinfoil hat would be you just believe anything anybody says to you.
Yeah, to a certain extent, yeah.
Like, for example, if I said to you tomorrow that you do know the sky is actually burgundy, and you went, oh, okay, Dad, and you believed me just because I'm your dad.
Yeah.
That would be tinfoily to me.
Yeah, but that's also being 8 years old.
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
That's what some of
yeah.
these conspiracy theorists are like.
But that's what I mean, though. Like, what is there to say about this other than this ridiculous? Because
Well, yeah, of course it is.
You know,
of course it is.
Saying the royal family is like a thing. Next, you'd be telling me Prince Andrew's a paedophile. I won't have none of it. I won't have none of it.
So yeah, so I reckon.
Yeah,
I reckon that is definitely for now.
I think that's
tin
gone.
foil.
Yeah. What does everyone else think? I think that's a solid middle ground tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. I feel like if you take anything David Icke says at face value, you deserve to be in that category regardless.
Just say, I've said this so many times before, but like when people talk about David Icke, so he was on the Terry Wogan show being interviewed, and he said that he was the son of God on one of the biggest TV shows of the 80s. I think it was like the most watched chat show in the 80s.
Yeah. Well,
So why did it? What possible credibility could he have left after saying something really stupid like that? And as Steve Walker said, and he was wearing a pink and turquoise shell suit. Oh, it's absolutely nuts. It's like, yeah, mate, we get it. You used to be a footballer. It's the 80s. No, I can't even cast shade on him for that because I used to wear shell suits myself.
I was going to say, don't make us dig up old photos.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
Shell shoots.
There we go. Shell shoots. 1 minute he was commentating snooker, the next day he said he was. It's like. So definitely.
Yeah, that one's safely in tinfoil.
Yeah. Does anybody in the side chat disagree? It's not a great. Well, I don't know, mine, because David Icke certainly earns a living by talking about it, which
he does, but that's more. You'd have to put David Icke in as the grift, like just because he is a grifter.
That's true.
Know what I'm saying?
It doesn't mean that everyone who believes it is.
Yeah.
So
I would say that safely lives in tinfoil hat for now.
Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Andrat. How the devil are you, pal? And my dad actually believes 5 of these theories. It's amazing how many people do. It's